Happening now, Jamestown area doctors and nurses are protesting New York's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. What they had to say just as they lost their jobs. Plus, the latest after 2 sets of remains were recovered in Chautauqua County this week. We check in with the sheriff's investigation at the South.
Well, if you like the fall air, we've got some good news. It's going to continue through the week, but as we go into the weekend, we may see a couple showers. We'll talk about it in detail next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Jamestown healthcare workers joined over 24 other protesters taking a stand against New York State's COVID-19 vaccine mandate yesterday. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Known as the Healthcare Freedom Rally, supporters of healthcare workers gathered outside of UPMC Chautauqua Hospital here in Jamestown. Among those speaking out was Dr. Yvonne Long, an audiologist, who says because of her vaccination status, she's not allowed to work on hospital grounds. When asked why she chose not to get the vaccine, Long says it goes against her religious beliefs. She's also concerned with her breastfeeding newborn.
There have been numerous accounts of mothers who have breastfed their infants, where their infants break out in uncontrollable rashes, where they have blood clots, and where those babies die. It is my understanding that if I am terminated due to reasons of not being vaccinated, that my license will be removed. And I will no longer be able to practice.
In addition to Long, UPMC Chautauqua maternity nurse Shayna Reynolds is out of a job until she gets vaccinated. Reynolds citing religious reasons, saying she wants the right to choose and is not the only one in her department.
Specifically in my department, about 6 people have been removed from the schedule.
Is that a substantial amount when looking at a hospital of this size?
Yes, it is.
It is not just hospitals that are affected, but also nursing homes like Lutheran Social Services, according to CNA Celia Sumner, who was fired Friday along with 20 of her coworkers.
The government shouldn't tell me what I should do with my own body, for one. And 2, I've seen so many people get hurt from it, such as my uncle. He got grand mal seizures not long after getting the first dose.
In the end, Dr. Long hopes that UPMC corporate leaders will respect her decision. Long saying she understands they're simply following state and federal orders, but feels something should be done.
I would just say be open to alternatives, be open to testing, be open to other avenues where you can still employ hospital workers when they're not vaccinated.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she's prepared to call in medically trained National Guard members and retirees to address potential staffing shortages caused by this vaccine mandate. Her mandate is in question by a federal judge who extended a temporary restraining order against the requirement to October 12th. Well, the investigation continues this hour as law enforcement in Chautauqua County are working to identify 2 sets of human remains that were found earlier this week in the North County. Our Dante Roberts joins us live in studio now with more on our continued team coverage. And Dante, it appears that our sheriff now has some leads.
Yes, Justin. Chautauqua County Sheriff is hopeful his department can bring closure to at least one of several decades-old cold cases. This after 2 sets of human remains were found in Portland.
The remains were found 30 yards from the roadway and 10 yards apart along the rails-to-trail area at Woburn Road on Sunday and Monday, respectively. Sheriff Jim Quattrone suspects foul play and is unsure at this moment if the cases are connected other than being in the same location. With that in mind, he believes the first set of remains could be Patricia Limerhard, who went missing from Westfield.
We're looking at that case because of the close proximity, within 10 miles, and the time frame. But we haven't ruled out any of the other missing person cases, specifically Laurie Cesai-Beauvais or Corey Anderson. We have their dental records, so we are looking at those and doing a comparison. And we also have DNA from Patricia that we're going to be doing a comparison.
The 3 cases in question are decades apart, with Limerhard first reported missing in 1976, Bova in 1997, and Anderson in 2008. The county forensic investigation team is working with the Mercyhurst Forensic Anthropology Department. At this point, the remains found Sunday is likely decades old, with the set discovered Monday more recent.
Closure is important. We want to keep hope that people are still alive, but closure for family would be good to have, and we're going to continue to work hard at that. We have been working with the DA's office lately and trying to develop a unsolved case squad, utilizing some retired investigators as well as current investigators to follow up on some of our unsolved cases.
The police activity in Portland has since subsided, with Sheriff Quattrone telling us investigators are now waiting on results from the college's evaluation. Justin, back to you.
Dante, thank you. And of course, we'll continue to follow this story for updates and bring them to you here at WNY News Now. That's on our website, WNYNewsNow.com, and on our free mobile app. A new system to alert Randolph residents of emergencies is now online. The town of Randolph launched the new program hosted by Unsolve Code Red. The system will send critical communications from water sewer notices to missing child alerts. To register, users can text Randolph Alerts to 99411, or you can simply sign up at randolphny.net and click on the Code Red box in the upper left corner of that screen. Users must own or rent property within the town's boundaries or be a water or sewer customer to enroll. Well, Jamestown High School is celebrating its homecoming week with a homecoming parade and varsity football game this Friday. The week started Monday with Spirit Week at JHS. All week long, students will be celebrating with a different theme, ending the week with Red and Green Day on Friday. Additionally, a homecoming parade kicks off at 6 o'clock at Allen Park and then ends at Strider Field. Immediately following that parade, the JHS homecoming football game starts at 7 o'clock Friday. The homecoming court will be presented at halftime with the crowning of the king and queen. Then, Saturday, the school will hold 2 separate outside homecoming dances, that behind the high school, and it's for JHS students only. Freshmen and sophomores will be from 5 to 7, juniors, seniors from 7:30 to 9:30. Now, following the weekend's festivities, the school will host an anti-bullying day on Monday, where everyone's invited to wear a blue shirt. Certainly great as fall season gets underway, you know, with homecomings here. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments section down below. We thank you so much for tuning in to your trusted source for local news. It's great to see Rick, good to see Linda, Steve, Nikki, Kayla, Travis, and Kathy as well. Hopefully you're all having a great day out there. We appreciate you tuning in. Reminding you, as well as watching us here on Facebook Live, our website, you can check us out on your television through channel 716 on Roku. It's so easy to download. Just search channel 716 and add that to your lineup today. Well, it is a beautiful day out there. A little chilly this morning. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us now with more. Hello, Dakota.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Jay, and good afternoon, all of you watching. And speaking of homecoming, I was actually tied for 5th in homecoming court my senior year. So, yeah, I don't want to brag, but that was surprising. Anyway, the Warren City Bank Skycam shows you just a few puffy white clouds overhead the Hickory Street Bridge. 63 degrees right now. Temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer than they were yesterday. It's almost going to be feeling almost seasonable out there today. Really not too much cloud showing up on the visible satellite imagery, and that's going to remain the case through the day. We're not going to see much in the way of cloud cover and really no rain for at least the next several days. So the weather pretty much all the way until the weekend is going to be almost rinse and repeat. But there will be a little downplay in the temperatures as we go towards the weekend. 62 is the high yesterday. We started at 54. 87 and 27 are the record highs and lows for today. So through the afternoon, a load of sunshine, a bit milder than it was yesterday, almost seasonable. 63 on the highest hilltops to 68 across the lower elevations with a northwest wind. That's why we're going to stay cooler with that northwest wind. Now, Friday morning, we could see some frost across the inland areas. We'll talk about it in complete detail along with that 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin.
All right, we'll see you back here in 10 minutes with that important news everyone's got to know about. Thank you, Dakota. One of the region's largest grocery store chains is making it easier to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Wegmans now offering Pfizer's COVID vaccine booster doses to those who are eligible. Nicholas Phillips with our news partner WENY has more on how you can sign up.
Wegmans pharmacies are offering the third shot of the Pfizer vaccine. Several groups are eligible to sign up. It comes less than a week after the FDA recommended the third dose of the shot. The CDC releasing new guidance on COVID-19 vaccines. They're recommending some get an additional dose of Pfizer. Now it's getting easier to get that third shot.
Booster shots are going to be available, free booster shots at your pharmacies, your doctor's offices, clinics, and locations all over.
CVS and Rite Aid have said they'll offer it. And joining the group of pharmacies, Wegmans. They announced they'd offer the booster shot by appointment.
Right now, we only are approved for Pfizer booster doses. In the next couple of weeks, we expect to get more information on people who may have received the Johnson & Johnson.
Several groups are eligible. People in long-term care facilities, people 18 and up with underlying conditions, and people who are at a high risk of exposure.
There's a intake form, an attestation that needs to be filled out for New York State, and then we get the vaccine. So start to end is probably about 15-20 minutes.
People can get an appointment by going to wegmans.com/pharmacy and just click where it says schedule an appointment.
We have Wegmans employees standing by Monday through Friday, 2 to 4, to help people set up those appointments.
People can also call the 1-800 number. People just need to bring their ID, insurance card, and vaccine card.
This is our best defense right now, and I'm really hoping that people heed the call.
People can also get another vaccine at their Wegmans appointment. They can get the COVID and flu vaccine.
We're passionate about helping our customers live healthier, better lives.
Again, appointments can be made by going to wegmans.com/pharmacy.
Nick, thank you. Proof of qualifying condition is not required. However, patients will be asked to self-attest to current CDC eligibility. Well, the Alzheimer's Foundation of America now expanding the hours of their hotline. That starts October 1st. The helpline is available to help individuals and families impacted by the disease and other dementia-related illnesses. The helpline, which is staffed entirely by licensed social workers specifically trained in dementia care, will now be available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 days a week. You can access it by calling 866-232-8484 or via text to 646-586-5283. And of course online at alzfdn.org, clicking on the blue and white chat icon. The helpline can assist with helping identify signs and symptoms of dementia illness and how to care for a family member who might have a dementia-related illness, among several other topics. Coming up, what we know about a new safety alert from the FDA, and later, why you might want to get a jump on that holiday shopping this year. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Looking for a new career? New Directions Youth and Family Services is hiring and hosting open interviews on Wednesday, September 29th from noon to 4. We have a wide variety of job openings, from direct care staff to cooks, receptionists, RNs, on-call staff, and more. Learn more at fosteringgood.org.
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Congress is facing 2 financial fights this week, one to keep the government open and another over the debt ceiling. Our Washington correspondent Matt Knadler explains the difference between the 2 issues and what that means for you.
In Washington, 2 issues, 2 deadlines, just days away, both involving your money. Let's start with the looming government shutdown. What is it exactly? Well, a shutdown happens when Congress fails to approve a budget by the start of the new fiscal year, which is this Friday, October 1st. We asked George Washington University political science professor Todd Bell to help us understand what all this means for you.
Now, when we've had government shutdowns before, employees were not paid. We know that they shut down the national parks and the like, but those people were usually paid back.
The second part is the debt ceiling, which is really a financial cap on how much the federal government can borrow to pay off its debt. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Tuesday the government will hit that limit in about 3 weeks.
Some people sort of consider it to be the government's credit card, but it's not really a credit card at all.
Congress can either raise or suspend the debt limit. Doing neither means the country would default on its debt, which has never happened.
And this is where it starts to affect individuals. Those include not funding retirement programs, perhaps stopping loans to students and small businesses.
Of course, politics are at play here. Democrats have attached a short-term spending bill that would fund the government through early December to a bill that would also suspend the debt ceiling through December of 2022. Senate Republicans rejected that on Monday.
It's usually been very bipartisan, the idea that we need to expand the debt limit to pay our bills. So this is the first time it's become extremely partisan.
Now, with just days to get everything done. In Washington, Matt Knadler reporting.
Matt, thank you. On Monday, Senate Republicans blocked that effort to fund the government. They also suspended the debt limit, which could mean the country won't be able to pay its bills come mid-October. Well, people who buy black market opioids could overdose, but not on what they think they're taking. The Drug Enforcement Administration is warning about a high number of fake prescription pills, which are laced with fentanyl and methamphetamine. Some of the $9.5 million counterfeit pills seized this year contain at least 2 milligrams of fentanyl, which is enough to kill you. The pills are largely produced by gangs and criminal drug networks and sold as other drugs like OxyContin and Adderall. The DEA says they're widely available online and often sold through social media. It comes as the CDC reporting more than a record 92,000 drug overdoses in 2020. This marks the first time in 6 years the DEA has issued an alert about laced drugs. America's top military commanders testifying publicly for the first time since the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan, which ended America's longest war. John Lawrence with the latest from Washington.
Maybe we're going to remember you 3 as the 3 that broke the military. I don't know.
America's top military commanders facing a contentious grilling from lawmakers on Capitol Hill Tuesday on the United States' deadly and chaotic withdrawal of Afghanistan.
General, I think you should resign. Secretary Austin, I think you should resign. I think this mission was a catastrophe. I think there's no other way to say it, and there has to be accountability. I respectfully submit it should begin with you.
Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin defending the exit, testifying the U.S. didn't believe Afghanistan would fall in a matter of days.
The fact that the Afghan army that we and our partners trained simply melted away, in many cases without firing a shot, took us all by surprise.
CENTCOM Commander General Kenneth McKenzie and Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley seem to contradict President Biden, who said this back in August.
Your top military advisors warned against withdrawing on this timeline. They wanted you to keep about 2,500 troops.
No, they didn't. It was split. That wasn't true.
Later, Milley and McKenzie said those assessments were their personal opinions and that they would not discuss their specific recommendations to the president.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan.
General Milley, I assume you agree with that in terms of the recommendation of 2,500?
I do agree with that.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. The House Armed Services Committee is getting its turn to speak with those military leaders today. Well, today the nation celebrates America's favorite pick-me-up. It's because September 29th is National Coffee Day. According to the National Day calendar, coffee has been around since the 15th century. Back then, Yemen monks prepared their coffee much like we do today. They roasted the coffee beans and then brewed it. The beans were eventually smuggled out of the Middle East and later spread to Europe, Indonesia, and the Americas. Today, more than 50 countries around the world now grow coffee. Everybody loves their busting bean juice. Let us know how you are celebrating National Coffee Day today in the comment section down below. I know, Dakota, you're not much of a coffee drinker, but it's pretty bad. I can't get a good start to the day without at least one cup of it.
Well, you see, I don't really care for coffee itself, but I do love cappuccino. Like, a Tim Hortons Oreo ice cap. Oh,
Tim Hortons is the best coffee in the world. Hands down, the best coffee. And I've had Starbucks, Dunkin', locally produced Crown Street Royal. They have some really good coffee, but something about Tim Hortons dark roast that really, if you want to win my heart, that's how you do it.
That's the way to get to Justin's heart, people.
It's pretty easy. One thing that's going to be pretty easy here in the next couple of weeks, and seeing some of this fall foliage. I know we're starting to really see the colors change statewide.
Yes, actually across much of New York State, the colors are starting to change. You notice that little orange blip down there across the eastern portion of Cattaraugus County going down to Allegheny County. Colors there are starting to hit mid-peak there. There's a green patch that goes across basically central New York going out all the way towards the capital region. That's where colors have not changed yet, but much of the state is starting to change. And where you see the orange, that's where it's starting to hit the midpoint or mid-peak. So if you really want the vibrant colors, you got to go up towards the Adirondacks. But even right across Allegheny County, we're starting to see a little bit of change there as well. So, hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea over the next couple of days because we have virtually no rain in the forecast today, tomorrow, or Friday, but we have introduced a couple of rain chances over the weekend, a 30% chance. This is calculated in area, by the way. That's how rain chances are calculated on area of a given point. And then as we go into Sunday, we might see a few more rain showers, so we've upped it to a 50% chance in area. So, but neither weekend day is going to be a washout, but we might be dodging a few raindrops from time to time. 59 as a noon hour, north wind to 3. That's why we're staying cooler. That north wind continuing to filter in that cooler air from Canada, the dew point down to 47. So all in all, not a bad day out there. High pressure has built in now. Now again, when it comes to high pressure, the eastern side of high pressure is always the strongest. So we're going to stay on that strong side of high pressure until the weekend, and then we start to get on that western side. That's the weaker side. That's when we start to get in our next front in here. That'll produce those rain showers for the weekend. So this is a wider view or future scan just to show you just across the entire region. There's nothing through the day today. So it pops up a little blip. That's not going to happen. The air going to be a little too dry for that. We'll see a few more clouds moving in overnight tonight. And then otherwise tomorrow, just another gorgeous day, mostly sunny skies. And temperatures actually go down a little bit for Thursday. Some spots on Thursday will likely stay in the upper 50s. That's likely going to be the hills across the southern tier. Will likely stay in the upper 50s. Now, as we mentioned at the top of the show, there is a chance on Friday morning we could be dealing with some frost around here across the morning hours, and here's the reason why. Clear skies as we go into Friday night. Clearing skies allows for something called radiational cooling. The heat of the day basically just evaporates back up into the sky. So once you work into the valley locations across Cat County, you might be in the upper 30s to start Friday. How's that? And there might be a touch of frost to start as well. We'll have to watch that as we go through the overnight. Temperatures today, though, likely lower to mid-60s. We're staring at the sun, Post Malone. Almost seasonable. Now the next 7 days of your life are right here on the screen. The sun continues on Friday, though, after that morning 30s in the valleys. Again, the rain showers both Saturday and Sunday, not a washout. Then we'll keep a chance for at least a small shower in there both Monday and Tuesday. And Look at that, temperatures actually remain seasonable. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
You might want to start your holiday shopping now. A shipping crisis is making many items on your holiday list a bit more difficult to find and more expensive. And now, one major retailer is taking matters into its own hands to make sure there's enough inventory to meet demand. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has a closer look at how a computer chip shortage is also adding to this big mess.
A global supply chain mess already impacting holiday shopping. Labor shortages, scarce and expensive shipping containers, and an ongoing computer chip crisis, all leading to costly price tags and fewer options.
It's a huge problem. Companies have been able to keep up, but it'll be more of what we're seeing, essentially higher prices.
Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo admitting computer chip shortages will likely lead to price increases for some of the items on your holiday list. Meanwhile, shipping issues are so severe that some big retailers are taking drastic measures to make sure there's enough supply to meet the demand this Christmas. Costco is chartering ships and renting containers to transport inventory between Asia, the U.S., and Canada. The move comes as Costco deals with major delays in toys, computers, tablets, and video games.
I think we're going to be struggling with it well into next year until we can really smooth out some of these bottlenecks.
Meanwhile, top toy makers say their products will be harder to find and more expensive this holiday season, blaming higher shipping costs that typically get passed down to consumers.
We do see inflationary pressure in freight cost, ocean freight cost and material. So we have to address that.
And it's also Christmas trees and decorations that will be more expensive as well. Some large sellers of artificial trees say they are already increasing their prices by double-digit percentages. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Jen, thank you. Shipping containers have become incredibly scarce and extremely expensive. 1 year ago, Dakota, companies would pay around $1,900 to book a 40-square-foot steel container on a standard route between China and Europe. Now, some of those companies spending more than $14,000. That's according to data from Drury, a maritime research consultancy. Yeah, the prices of things certainly going up. And I know a lot of people already, my family included. I've bought a couple of Christmas gifts, and I know I sound crazy, but hey, it's October, right? Next Friday. So.
Well, I mean, my mom, back when I was a kid, my mom would start Christmas shopping at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Like she'd be shopping all year long. But I mean, the chip shortage really is a problem. Like we had just heard in the rumor mill of Apple that Apple's USB-C power brick for the 16-inch MacBook Pro is out of stock everywhere. You can't find it in the Apple store. You can't find it at Best Buy, anywhere. And the shipping times have slipped to like 3 months for just the power brick. Like
No
it is
kidding.
so badly,
Wow.
like, that is, their supply chain. And so if you have a 16-inch MacBook Pro and you need a power supply for it, good luck.
Right, and that can be devastating. You know, people use that to work, and they need their computer to work. You know, recreation. I mean, as simple as making a grocery list nowadays, right? You do that. Yep. A lot of people do that on the computer. Great to see Pam. Good to see David, Sheila, and Martin. Hopefully you're all having a great day. We appreciate you tuning in here for WNY News Now. Well, that's going to do it for Dakota and I today. Of course, we are back tomorrow with a look at all the local news that matters to you. In the meantime, we'll leave you with this beautiful shot over Chautauqua Lake if you can't get outside today and soak up the sun. Cumulus clouds?
You got it.
I did. All right. Woo, look at me.
I think it's a cookie.
Have a great day.